So I started working with Mark through a referral from a friend of mine. I had been just exasperated with having tried, gosh, everything. For over a year, I had been dedicated to morning workouts at the gym with very limited results. I felt stronger, but didn't see a lot of weight movement or anything like that. I had done clean keto. I had done all just everything, tried all of the different fad things, tried supplements of every kind, had blood work done to check hormone level. I mean, all of it. I did all of it. And nothing was very effective. And my girlfriend and my girlfriends at the time had just said, hey, you should check out. I'm working with this nutritionist. You should check him out, give him a chance and see if he can do anything to help you. And she was someone I really deeply respected in the medical field. And so I took a chance and I started working with Mark, and it was such a great experience. And I feel like I have learned things that I just didn't really understand about nutrition before. And nothing that he asked of me was anything that was, I don't know, especially like new information, but put together in the right way. It felt like just an easier approach to managing health and managing diet and weight control and just all of those things. So, ever since starting working with Mark, I think there have been a few kind of major shifts for me. I had already, I don't know, I feel like we're a healthy family, and I always felt like I ate very healthfully and watched what I ate. I never felt like I haven't eaten fast food. I'm not a soda drinker. Like I just eat pretty clean most of the time. But what I didn't realize was that even in clean eating, you can still overconsume, and that is where you're going to have a struggle. And so that was where everything really shifted for me in learning how to prioritize protein and have that be the center point of each meal and be really intentional. It kind of felt like I was learning how to, gosh, the comparison is like shopping. I know it sounds really lame, but it's true. It's kind of like you're spending your money, right? You're spending your calories in a certain way, and how much bang for your buck are you getting? And so if you're spending calories on protein, then you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Whereas if you're just spending calories on meaningless clean food, it may or may not be as effective for health goals. And so that was a really big shift for me. And then also just learning how to keep track and understand what I was actually consuming, how much of everything, was a really big shift for me. So Mark had me working through using my fitness and logging food, and just, gosh, it was so eye-opening to see exactly and precisely what I was consuming and to see the macros of each of them, and a total. And so it became kind of a bit of a game, which for me was a really fun mindset shift, because it used to be kind of this arduous, hard process of like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure I'm checking what I'm doing and this and that. But eventually it just kind of turned into, well, let's see what happens when I do this. And there was a lot of experimentation. And so that was a really big shift for me in diet, was just kind of experimenting with what worked for me and what doesn't. The things that I like, I can enjoy anything that I want, which is really freeing in a lot of ways. But then it also, at the same time, you kind of like pay for that in balancing out how you're consuming in other ways. So that was a really big mind shift. As far as just major results and exciting results, I think more than anything else, the biggest result is that this is a lifelong like style of eating, and for me, definitely a lifestyle change. So Mark really helped me walk through choosing things and kind of substituting things that I really like for other things that are more nutritious or have greater like protein value. Like think about sour cream versus Greek yogurt. Super similar in flavor, but like you get significantly more protein in Greek yogurt than you do in sour cream, which is kind of like empty calories. And so there's just some shifts that you can make that I learned about that have really helped me to manage my weight. So I worked with Mark over a year ago, and had started in the summer prior, lost 40 pounds within a couple of months, and have kept that off, and without really trying, without having to do the whole program forever, because it was as simple as just starting to make some shifts. And so that became extremely manageable. And so now I know that anytime I'm starting to creep up in my weight, or I feel uncomfortable in clothes or something like that, I can go back to getting a little bit more tight and like measuring everything again and getting more specific with how much of each, protein and calories and all these things. But that's not a forever solution. Like you can't always track everything 100% of the time, all the time. And so it's really freeing to know that I was able to lose 40 pounds and maintain that over the course of the last 8 months. And so that is a huge accomplishment for me. I'm very excited about that. think one of the best parts about having Mark as a coach is that, well, for me, I've never really done a whole lot of like one-on-one nutrition coaching or like weight loss coaching or anything like that. So I've done programs and different things over the years and tried different things, but the accountability piece is a really big deal. And then also, Mark is like one of the kindest souls that I feel like you'll ever meet, especially in what I think for a lot of women can feel like a very shameful space. Because you're working with him if you're feeling like you need to get healthier or you need to lose weight or you need to do whatever your goals are. And so that can feel a little bit of shameful. I don't know. For me, it felt very shameful that why am I even in this place in the first place, right? And why do I even need this? But the reality is that we all do from time to time need a little support. And so I just felt like Mark was just this like super kind soul who just really, he never made me feel shamed. He never made me feel bad about what I had eaten or not eaten or drank, you know? And so I just felt like he was very, very supportive, and that was always very helpful. And then also just very strategic. So, it's good and well to have somebody who you're accountable to. I mean, but you can have anybody you can be accountable to. But when it comes down to it, sometimes you need just some ideas and inspiration. And that connection piece where he checks in is looking at what you're logging and gives you ideas about, hey, if you just swapped this for this, look at what this could do for your overall of this day or whatever. And so that was just I just felt incredibly supported. And I think that's what you need when you're trying to make a lifestyle shift and move into a more healthful kind of way of living. So I think the best style of coaching is the type of coaching that gives you all of the information that you need to be successful on your own and doesn't create a pathway where you're completely dependent upon a coach forever, right? Indefinitely. And so I don't know, if one of my friends was asking me about my experience and kind of on the fence about it, I would certainly say, there's absolutely no risk in trying to work. Like everyone I know, I have so many people who've worked with Mark at this point, and we've referred him to so many different people, and everybody has always said, this is some of the best money you've ever spent, some of the best investment in just learning a healthier lifestyle that we've ever made. And I agree. And so I just think that the risk is so limited. There's no bad side to it, right? Getting healthy is always helpful and it's always better for you in the long run. And so there's just not a bad side to it. So do it because you're going to feel healthier in a couple of months. Really immediately, you're going to start to see some shifts immediately. And it's really fun. And especially if you can do it with another person, that's always really fun too, because then you can compare notes and ideas and recipes and stuff like that. So the community that is built within, it's fun. So that is what I would say. Absolutely do it.